Hello again and welcome back. How have you been?
Okay.
Good, good. Now, before we get started, I always like to remind my clients that whatever you say in this session stays between us, with the exception, of course, of an instance where you indicate that you're in danger of harming yourself or others, or if you indicate the abuse of a vulnerable adult or child. I am, of course, mandated to report that. So, with that, are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Great. All right, so last time we spoke, we discussed how this week we would be diving into some pieces of your childhood. Um, individuals may not realize this, but our first memories of childhood have a capacity to reveal insights into a person's outlook on life and ways of perceiving, the world. Early recollections were actually introduced by, are you familiar with Alfred Adler? Have you ever heard of him before?
Could you remind me, please?
Oh, sure. Yeah, he's just he was one of the most famous psychologists, psychiatrists that developed a lot of insight into the human mind. Essentially, it's actually what the school that I attended is based upon, is the Alfred Adler's theories. So,
Oh, okay.
and he he figured this out with early recollections actually about 100 years ago. So this is gonna put us on a good track here. So I'm gonna have you think back to a long time ago, when you were little, probably about ages 5 to 10. Okay, and I want you to try to recall some of your earliest memories, some of the first things you can remember, and then I am kind of hoping for a negative and a positive memory. So, and then before I have you share, I'm going to guide you a bit for the first one. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'd like you to think of a time, and you don't have to share this part, just think about it in your mind, in the last year or two where you had a situation with another person that did not go well.
Okay.
Got it? Okay, great. Now I want you to think back on your memories when you were little, where you felt that same way and had the same kind of feelings. Let me know when you think of one. Take your time.
Got it.
Perfect. All right. So, about how old were you?
I think it was 8 or 9.
8 or 9? Okay.
Maybe closer to 10. Probably not.
9? Okay.
Actually, I might have been 8.
Okay.
Yeah, 8.
Sounds good. So I want you to tell me
It was
this.
a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. I want you to tell me the story of this memory, but I do need to write everything you tell me down, so I may ask you to pause at times so I can get it all down. I try to write it exactly how you say it, so be patient with me. But I do write pretty fast, so go ahead and tell your story whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, I was in grade school, and I can't remember the exact grade, which is why I can't remember the exact age. But there was this boy named Doug Johnson, and I will never forget his name. But he used to walk when he was in my class, and in class I had to sit by him. He was disruptive. And then he also had to walk home the same route that I did. And he would follow me, and sometimes in front of other kids, he would push me down and spit loogies in my hair. And you can imagine that was really disgusting.
Yeah, for sure.
And I didn't like being pushed down, and I didn't like this boy dominating me, and I did not like it at all. And so one day, I finally had enough, and I was walking, I'll never forget, and the boy's name was Jason Ridgway. He was a very nice boy. And he was walking near us, not next to us, but Doug pushed me down and spit loogies, and he would do the drippy thing, like drip it on me, and then like suck it back up, which is very troubling. It's funny, but disgusting. And at one point I said, "You will not bully me anymore." And I jumped up and I pushed him down. And then there happened to be a broken bottle in the gutter next to me, and I threatened him with that bottle. I said, "You will not do that to me anymore." And he kind of backed away and said, "Oh, you're a tough girl, huh?" And then I dropped the bottle, and it shattered. And he said, "I'm calling the cops. I'm going to call the cops on you." And then I was scared because I didn't. I'm in grade school. I don't want the cops called on me. So I had Jason Ridgway. Well, I didn't ask him to, but he volunteered to walk me home. And I told my dad, this is what happened. And then Jason went to his house, and then my dad walked me, or he actually drove me, to the place where the broken glass was, and he helped me sweep it up. And then at that moment, he helped me through this I was scared. The cops are thinking they're going to come get me because the broken glass is in the gutter, and I'm a rule follower. And so when he helped me do that, I felt safe. And then Doug Johnston never bothered me again.
All right. Second.
But I will tell you that when people they make that hawking, loogie, gross noise, I still want to throw up.
Oh.
Like, it's disgusting.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Because it was in my hair and on my backpack.
Oh. That sounds like a not good memory. But it did have its pros in there too. You stuck up for yourself. So, if you were to take a snapshot on one instance of that entire memory that stands out the most to you, what would that picture be?
Well, I think you just said it. I stood up for myself. Not only that, but I also went home and my parents accepted me, and I'm a little kid. I don't know what's right and wrong, really. Are the cops coming? And my dad stood by me and supported me.
All right. Hold on. I'm just finishing writing. Okay. All right. Okay. So you've kind of alluded to it a little bit, but so can you name all the different feelings that you felt in this memory, like from beginning to end? Like in the very beginning when he was bullying you, what types?
So long ago, I guess it was fear and disgust. And that pretty much took over most of it. But then there was the feeling of, I'm not going to take it anymore.
Yes. And when your dad supported you?
Elation.
Okay. Good. Yeah. All right. And why do you think that you felt that elation in the end? I know you kind of already described it, but I just want to hear more about it.
I think that was a pretty cool thing for my dad to do, to support me and not be disinterested. I'm sorry for the background noise. I'm in transit.
That's all right. No problem. All right. And then, okay, so that was a great one. Now I'm going to ask for one more recollection. And this is any one that you'd like to share. And we're going to go from there. So now I'd like your second childhood, just whenever you're ready, when you know what it is. Because our minds, they hold on to these memories for a reason. You don't have a lot of them from when you're a child, but there's a reason why you hold on to each memory. So
my second childhood memory I wanted to share with you is probably when I got to pick out my first pet. And I love animals. And I got to go and pick out pretty much, my dad asked me, what kind of animal do you like? What are you looking for? And I was like, a bunny! And I got to go and pick out the exact bunny that I wanted for my pet. And so that might be one of my most positive memories as a kid.
okay.
We went to, well, I can't tell you where it is, probably Tractor Supply, and they had a crate of bunnies, and I got to pick out mine.
Okay. Were there a lot of bunnies to choose
There
from?
were a lot of bunnies. I picked out one that had lop ears and had spots, and so I named it logically Spot.
Love it.
I know that's silly. Remember, I'm 5.
Yes. It's actually quite endearing. But...
And so for me, I loved animals, and I still do.
So, what types of feelings when your dad first said, "Hey, we're gonna go get a pet. You can pick it out." What do you remember the feeling that you had?
Yes, I was so excited. I couldn't believe they actually agreed to it, first of all, because I'm pretty sure I nagged them a lot. And I know now, not then, that my dad had allergies to pets, so it's kind of a big deal for him to allow me to do that, but we compromised. It was an outdoor pet, and we worked so hard to make a nice home for it in the backyard. I mean, it wasn't a standard rabbit hutch. We built a runner for it, so my bunny could run back and forth, and we had my grandpa would ship me hay bales from North Dakota. Can you imagine how much that cost?
Oh my gosh.
And and we would insulate it in the winter and put like heating in it, and then I would take care of it every day, and it gave me a great pride in taking care of my pet. You know, that responsibility that comes with having a pet.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I took care of it like that was my pet. It wasn't something my parents had to nag me about. I would just do it.
That's pretty great. All right. Okay. So now we're going to talk about any patterns that I see, and we're going to work together on this. So what I'm going to do is throw out some ideas, brainstorm, if you will. Some of the concepts that may fit. You can say yes, that fits, or you can say no, that doesn't fit. We're trying to figure out what kinds of beliefs you developed when you were little. Then after we figure out the beliefs you developed, we're going to see if there were any mistaken ideas that you couldn't shake over the years and might now prove problematic to you. So that is our next goal. But that completes our session for today.